Welcome to this new Addon Spotlight. In addition to the sim update number 8, which has been released early this week, there's now a new aircraft, the famous flyer number 1, and that's the Beechcraft 17. So the aircraft comes with multiple liveries, right? These are the ones. You can see multiple, let's say both, single color, but also multiple colors. And when we go down, we also see the famous Aviators Club and the Xbox Aviators Club livery. So those are the liveries which are available. If we look at the other settings, right, there's not much here compared to the default settings, right? You can configure the payload, right? So that's the weight, the pilot, the co-pilot, plus packs second row left and packs second row right. And then we've got the baggage, of course, which we can select. By default, the pilots are both the pilot and the co-pilot are enabled, and this is the view which is in the aircraft. Failures, the same as with all aircrafts, right? You can enable the failures for the whole system: the oil leak, the fuel pump, the fire, magneto left and right, the cylinders 1 to until 9. So a lot of things which you can configure. Then we have the HC options. HC options, right? You can select the wear. So for example, you can simulate the aircraft's performance degradation due to the wear and tear, right, when using it. There's some elevator authority which you can adjust, but normally you don't need to switch or need to change these buttons. Tail number call sign is currently empty. If it's empty, then it will use the ones specified in Flight Simulator itself, right, when selecting the flight plan. So let's take it out for a flight, right? So I was already having an airport in mind. So let's start from the runway in this case. And then click on fly to see how this one works. I'm really curious. So this is the first one, right, in the famous series, as they called it. There will probably be a little bit more famous aircrafts. This new series, in addition to the local legends, right, which are released as part of the world updates. For example, the next world update is now scheduled to be available on the 22nd of March, including a local legends number 3, which is Dornier Doge, or Juliet. So that's cool, right? It could be that they are changing it. Sometimes things are slipping a bit, but that's what's known for now, right? There's no, I would say, new information available about other local legends which are gonna release in the future, as well as for the famous one. I need to validate my joystick, right, because it's causing an issue. So this is the interior of the aircraft. You can see it's, I would say, pretty nice, right, and nicely modeled. If we go to the center, if my joystick allows me, then we will see all the things which are normally expected in an aircraft, right? You can see even the ceiling is nicely modeled, but if you look at the panel here, you can see all the things are there, right? So the airspeed, the climb rate, the altitude, the navigation systems which are here, the fuel systems, of course, the fuel flow. We've got the carburetor here and several gauges for the engine. Then we've got the propeller and the throttle here, and then we've got the flaps over here. The warning lights on the top of the say dashboard. In the bottom part there are the avionics, the pitot heat, the fuel pumps, the rotating beacon, the navigation lights, the generator or the alternator. Landing lights are over here, right? Starter button to start the engines, and then we have the yoke here, so let's hide it. Here we've got the navigation radios, right? So it's pretty basic. You've got the communication radios which are on this end, and then you've got the navigation radios which are on this end, and you can change them by using the buttons over here. We will have a look at those buttons in the future. Compared to what you would expect here, you can see that the propeller button is here, right? But the mixture one is here on the bottom. So you've got, I would say, these three buttons which are allowing you to manage the engine or manage or control the engine. Park and brake, and the tail hook is over here, and then we've got the landing gear on this end. If we go to the outside of the aircraft, right, here it is, beauty, nice red colored. You can see that it's nicely modeled, a lot of details here, right. You can also see the passengers, or the pilot and the co-pilot in this case. Nice and shining propeller on the top. If we go here, we can see the springs here, right? So, and some nice modeling here. Lights on the front, of course, and then here we've got the rest of the aircraft. So let's see if everything works. I do expect it, right? Let's pay that on. It's not a free add-on. Keep that in mind. You need to pay some money for it. Although it's, I would say, not that expensive, to be honest. So the strobe light's already burning. So let's take this one away for, let's say, for a flight. This is probably some of the issues, right? If you center the display, it will, or if you reset the display, it will center in some cases. So make sure that you're using the buttons which you normally would use to, I would say, adjust the view. So here we go. A little bit outlined from the center of the runway. So there we go. Airborne. Gears up. And here we go, right? So let's see how it flies. It's not that sensitive compared to other aircraft, right? So you can easily fly with it. It's a nice one to fly with. If you look at the again at the modeling, right? Even the wood here is even looks really detailed. So it would look from the outside, right? You can also look nicely at the aircraft while flying. So pretty nice. So let's go inside again. You can see that all the instruments are working, right? You can see that the angle, which is here, right? The turning angle is clearly shown here. You can see that the altimeter is working, the airspeed is working, also the compass, and the climb rate is nicely shown here. Currently no red lights, which is good. You can see that the gears are up. That's indicated by the yellow light, and we can see the fuel flow meter, which is here. It's also shown correctly. All kind of cool. So that's not saying is an issue, right? So the reset of the view brings you back to the I would say center of the aircraft, and then you really can't see anything. So that's something which probably needs to be adjusted in the next release, so it does not bring you back to the original pilot position, which is kind of handy, right? So what can we discuss else about the aircraft? Well, besides the beauty, it also looks like to fly pretty nice. So in the upcoming videos we're gonna look at how to manage the engine, how to use the navigation systems in this aircraft, and of course how to start this aircraft from scratch. So I hope you like this video. If you liked it, then consider to use the like button. If you got questions or comments, then feel free to post them in the comment box below. And if you want to stay up to date about new videos I'm posting, then make sure that you're subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching and see you next time.